A
Prime Crime Network
exclusive.
Search is on tonight for a predator who sexually assaulted an 80-year-old woman during a home invasion. It happened around 9 Sunday night on Memorial Street near I-96 and the Southfield Freeway on Detroit's west side.
This is a top priority for DPD as well as community members who say they simply will not stand for this.
This is a 911 situation, so for us, we taking this extremely serious. Any attack on women, children, or elders in our community is a no-go for us.
24 hours after an 80-year-old woman was sexually assaulted by an intruder who made his way into her Memorial Street home.
You going down here?
Yeah.
Let me cut this car off.
A group of armed volunteers with New Era Detroit canvassed the neighborhood.
That's why it's so vital that, you know, we do the best we possibly can to squeeze whoever did this out.
Detroit police say it started as a home invasion. It was about 9 o'clock Sunday night when the victim discovered a strange man in the home she shares with her husband. The man asked for money.
The victim told him, no, we don't have any money, and started to push him out the door. He pulled her with him and to the outside, where he sexually assaulted her.
The woman was able to call for help, but the suspect got away.
To know that he molested an 80-year-old woman is very shocking.
Janiyah Hall lives on the other side of Memorial Street. She says she'll be locking her doors and keeping an extra eye out, which is exactly what police are advising residents in the area do.
One thing that can be learned from this incident is that we just all need to stay vigilant and aware of our surroundings.
Absolutely heartbreaking thinking about what it was that woman went through. We're told that she is traumatized, understandably, by what happened to her. Her husband was at home at the time all of this took place, but we're told he's handicapped and was not able to help her. And now police need your help identifying the suspect. The description right now, pretty vague, about 5'8", slim build, a man in his 20s. So anyone with information, give police a call. Reporting live outside of Detroit Police Headquarters, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Just awful, and hopefully somebody knows something and will say something.
The level of cruelty here is just unconscionable.
And you know, Roop and Amy, when you see Detroit's top cop out in the neighborhood, you know it's a serious case. He said this case just hits differently. It's the ones that keep investigators up all night. The chief out in the neighborhoods, along with dozens of other community activists, earlier today into the evening, passing out a suspect sketch. They want everyone to have eyes on this sketch. Take a look.
If you see somebody walking around and look like him, let us know.
Look at his face. Look at his walk. This is who Detroit police say they're after for raping an 80-year-old woman.
Every door, we want him to turn himself in. We want to put some pressure on him.
Chief James White in the neighborhood where it happened Wednesday afternoon off Memorial Street near the Southfield and 96, and he came with the crew.
You are no longer allowed or will be accepted on these streets.
Dozens of community activists promise to stay on the grind until seniors who live here can feel safe.
We finna put in 24 hours till this guy get off the street.
Investigators say they believe the suspect lives in the general area, releasing this home surveillance footage of him.
And we believe that's the perpetrator who did it. I'd like to leave the flyer with you.
On Sunday, investigators say the suspect, who the 80-year-old woman did not know, offered to help with her packages. She said no. He came back, forcing himself inside her house, asking for food and money. Then a struggle.
He drags her out of the home and to outside where the act was committed.
Adding to the sadness of it all, the woman's husband was inside, handicapped and helpless to intervene. She did suffer from minor injuries from the assault, watched over now by family who's staying with the elderly couple.
And speaking with her, our officers reported back that the one thing she wanted to do was pray for the suspect in this act.
DPD positioning officers in the neighborhood until he's in custody.
You violated our whole city and our whole culture. You violated our whole culture, and you must now face your judgment.
Out here live at Detroit's 6th Precinct, not too far from where this happened. Now, the chief says he's worried about this guy's next move. If you're going to do this to an innocent 80-year-old woman, what will you do next? He's asking anyone that recognized that sketch or even the man's walk to not take matters into their own hands, to call 911. Let police handle it. Reporting live on Detroit's West Side.
Yes, I know we just got that sketch earlier today. And so do you know if they've gotten any tips at all since they released that?
Absolutely. I mean, they were out there feverishly by the dozens. The chief said they do have some leads prior to releasing that sketch. So definitely tips have been coming in tonight. And hopefully they're saying 24, 48 hours before they got this guy.
Major developments today in a horrific crime in Detroit. Police have arrested this man, saying they believe he sexually assaulted an 80-year-old woman last week. What led investigators to the suspect?
Well, this arrest is really the confluence of both the community out searching for this suspect, but really police announcing the suspect at 4 o'clock, and just 3 hours later, they had their person in custody.
Just a very good day for the city of Detroit to take someone like that off the streets.
Detroit police say they got their man, Kenneth Davis Jr., arrested in Rouge Park on the city's west side just a few hours after top brass identified him as a suspect in the rape of an 80-year-old woman more than a week ago. And on Tuesday, cops linked him to another rape of a 64-year-old woman.
Just a great effort by everybody, all of our units, our violent crime task force partners, the FBI, our narcotics unit. Basically, we weren't going home until this guy's in custody. Chief announced about 4 o'clock, put him out, and he told them, turn yourself in, we will hunt you down. And that's what we did. Nobody going home that works in my units. Everybody's out here, and bad guy, a predator, out here. He's in custody.
Commander Eric Decker of DPD's Organized Crime Squad walks us through how the arrest went down.
Units out, surveillance, picked him up and led us to this location. He was with a known person. They were parked here and taken down. There was no injuries, no incidents.
The arrest comes as a relief to many community leaders as well, who have also been on the hunt.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Dave. I wish we would have caught him first.
Zeke runs the grassroots group New Era Detroit. They've been getting the word out since the first attack.
Man, we just happy that he off the streets. You know, we've been working relentlessly, you know, day in and day out. Monday, you know, it happened on a Sunday. We've been out here working since Monday. You know, a lot of people have been moving around. You know, I can speak for the whole community when I say that this was top priority on getting this guy off the street.
Detroit police sources say DNA evidence led them to identifying Kenneth Davis Jr. as the suspect behind the March 26th attack on the 80-year-old woman at her home near the Southfield Freeway and I-96. Police say it started when he asked if she needed help with her packages. She said no, but he allegedly came back and entered the home through an open back door. Cops say he then asked for food and money. She told him to get out, only to be sexually assaulted moments later, according to detectives.
That's a violent person. So I'm going to go home and sleep good tonight. I hope everybody else does.
Legendary Detroit rapper Trick Trick has worked with police on the search, and he says they're not stopping with this case.
We've become aware of other crimes that have taken place and other perpetrators in the same area. So it's a constant thing. We have to stay on it. We have to stay on it. It doesn't rest. We don't rest.
Now, that second rape that happened yesterday with the 64-year-old, that is still under investigation. That took place over at Grand River and Ferguson in that area.